right, good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to thank you all for joining Mayor Schewel and Chair Jacobs today for a press conference to discuss Thanksgiving and holiday gatherings in light of the increasing cases of COVID-19. After we hear from Mayor Schewel and Chair Jacobs, we will take questions from the media in attendance. Mayor Schewel.
Thank you very much, Amber. And I want to welcome everyone to this press conference today. And I'm glad to be joined by County Commission Chair Wendy Jacobs. And also with us today is my City Council colleague and Mayor Pro Tem Jillian Johnson, and glad to have her here as well. I'm going to pass the baton first to Commissioner Jacobs for her remarks, and then I'll make some remarks, and then we'll take some questions.
Thank you, Mayor Schewel. Durham family, the mayor and I have an important message to share with our community today, 10 days in advance of the Thanksgiving holiday, as people are making their plans. We know how much everyone loves the Thanksgiving holiday. It is our beloved American holiday that we all enjoy celebrating. But like so many things that have happened since March, Thanksgiving will be different this year. As we make our personal decisions about how we are going to celebrate this holiday, we must think about how to keep our families, ourselves, our friends, and our neighbors safe. The reality is that unfortunately, we are facing perhaps one of the most dangerous times during this pandemic. Rates of infection are increasing exponentially at very rapid and alarming rates. 1,000 people a day in the United States are now becoming infected. And here in Durham, we are also seeing our infection rates increase, both the percentage of positive cases and the numbers of people who are becoming infected each day. In response, we have lowered our limit again for indoor gatherings to 10 people. Durham family, make no mistake, you have been doing an incredible job over the past 9 months. Durham has been leading the way as the first city and county in North Carolina to require wearing face coverings. And the evidence just keeps pouring in that this is so effective. And you've done such a great job at personal hygiene and social distancing. Durham businesses have been leading the way with our Back on the Bull campaign, Durham Delivers, and the Durham Streetery. We are taking care of each other by providing food, homeless housing, rental assistance, business grants and loans, testing, face coverings, and all kinds of support. Our Recovery and Renewal Task Force and roundtables, Durham residents, churches, organizations, businesses, institutions, and government agencies have all been rallying and working together since day one to take care of everyone in our community. I know that people are worn out after so many months. We are spending more time indoors. We are loosening up and spending more time with people outside of our households. We are spreading the virus through these casual indoor gatherings. This is precisely why it is such a big risk in terms of how we celebrate Thanksgiving. Mayor Schewel and I are going to share recommendations with you about safe ways to celebrate. We are asking you to continue to do your part and make careful choices and practice safe behaviors. We can and we will get through this together, the Bull City way. And I turn it over to Mayor Schewel for you to share some of the great ideas for what people can do.
Thank you very much, Commissioner Jacobs. And for setting that very important context of the unfortunately increasing cases that we're seeing in Durham, around the state, and around the country. And I want to second what Commissioner Jacobs says about the Thanksgiving holiday. We all love it so much. We know how much it means to each of us, and certainly to me, to you, to everyone. It's just such an important part of our life, but we do have to do it differently this year. And we want to be following the guidelines that our scientific community has set in front of us, and our public health community, both from the CDC and from our North Carolina Department of Health and Human Service guidelines. This is really good guidance to keep our community safe. And first, I want to say something that I heard our North Carolina Secretary of Health and Human Services, Mandy Cohen, say not long ago, which is this. First, remember that just because you love someone in your family doesn't mean that you can't pass COVID-19 on to them. Love does not protect you from COVID-19. Even though you're close to someone, you can still give that person COVID-19. And in fact, we've seen a lot of our community spread happen, as Wendy said, in small groups inside, and we really need to be careful not to do that. We all want to be with our families at Thanksgiving, but we need to keep the health and safety of our loved ones foremost in our minds, especially as the virus cases are soaring across the nation and in North Carolina. So think about your loved ones, especially the elderly and the medically vulnerable, before you make the decision to join them for Thanksgiving. And if you do join them for Thanksgiving, make a plan for how you will stay safe. Think about it ahead of time. How will you stay safe if you decide to be together? Safest of all would be simply not to travel and to be with your family virtually this Thanksgiving. That's the lowest risk option. That's the no risk option. And that is the safest of all. And of course, for those families who can do that and want to do that, we urge that you do that. A virtual Thanksgiving can be wonderful. My family had a virtual Passover this past year, and I know a lot of people had virtual Easter celebrations, and that's one great way to celebrate. But we also know that many families will want to be together, and we need to do that safely. So what does that look like? First of all, remember the 3 W's, and we can't say this enough. It's just as important now as it was back in March. Wear, wash, and wait. Wear a face covering. That is so critically important, and we now know important not just for the people you're with, but for your own health as well. Wash your hands. Wash your hands frequently. And wait. Wait at least 6 feet away, socially distance. If we can do all those things, we will be able to successfully battle this virus. Next, if you do travel, consider or if you do join people in person, consider getting tested for COVID-19 3 to 4 days prior to travel or attending family gatherings. You should know that getting tested is not a pure guarantee of safety, but it is one good way of reducing your risk. Consider getting tested for COVID-19 3 to 4 days prior to travel or attending family gatherings. Limit your holiday travel and limit physical contact with people who do not live in your household. Make sure that if you do travel, that you do it very safely, that you're limiting physical contact with people who do not live in your household, even if you're with them on Thanksgiving. If you have been exposed to COVID-19 or you have symptoms, it's very important that you do not host a gathering or you do not attend a Thanksgiving gathering. Anyone with symptoms, it's so important. If you've been exposed, you should be quarantining. And if you have symptoms, it's really important that you not host or attend a Thanksgiving gathering. Be respectful of the health of others. If people are gathering for Thanksgiving, one good way to reduce risk is to seat people who live together at their own table and to keep tables at least 6 feet apart from one another. So that's another way you can reduce risk if you are together. For plates and knives and forks and so forth, use single-use options or identify one person to serve food so that multiple people are not handling food and other items. Keep the guest list small. Don't have a large crowd for Thanksgiving. Just have as few people as you can to celebrate the holiday. And keeping it small will really reduce your risk and the risk of others. If there are members of if your family's getting together in person, and there are higher risk individuals who are members of your family, maybe they're elderly or people who are medically compromised, make a way that those guests can attend the event virtually. You can be together, for those of you all who are healthy and are at lower risk, in safe ways, and have your higher risk family members consider attending the event virtually and figure out a way for them to do that. Another important thing is to clean and disinfect commonly touched surfaces such as door handles and sink faucets before your Thanksgiving gathering and during it. Clean and disinfect. We know how important that is. And finally, and this is what we're going to be doing at Thanksgiving at our house, we're having a small gathering. Host your gathering outdoors. Have it outdoors. You can have it in your backyard. You can have it around your fire pit. You can have it on your front porch, but have your gathering outdoors. And if that's not possible, make sure that any indoor room that you're in is well ventilated by opening doors and windows. Remember that being outside and being in a well ventilated room, if you can't be outside, are very, very important. So these are some of the important ways in which we can all keep ourselves safe through Thanksgiving. I do want to mention also the holidays following, because of course we know that Thanksgiving is going to be followed as well by the winter holidays, Christmas and Hanukkah and our other winter holidays, Kwanzaa. And I do want to mention, our Parks and Rec department has already announced this, but I'll say again, but for reasons of health and safety, we're unfortunately not going to be able to have our wonderful holiday parade this year. I really miss that, because one of my favorite things as mayor is to be able to march in the front of the parade with whoever the Grand Master is. I won't be able to do that this year, but we will be able to do it in future years. We need to be safe this year. At the same time, Durham Parks and Rec is hosting a series of socially distanced holiday events in December. I'm not going to list all of them, but I'll just tell you a few of the really great ones. Bull City Reels on Wheels. This is at Durham County Memorial Stadium, which is a holiday-themed movies that you can watch from the comfort of your car. There's the Frosty Family Holidays drive-through toy giveaway, which will be at the Durham County Health Department, and also another one at Holton Career and Resources Center. There's going to be a laser light show for all ages at Durham County Memorial Stadium on December the 20th. There'll be virtual cookies with Santa, and that's going to be a super fun event. There are going to be pictures with Santa Squirrel. You, your family, and your dog can get a picture with Santa Squirrel. And then a family pictures with Santa Squirrel are also going to be available. And all of these you can register online through Durham Parks and Recreation's website. You need to register, pre-registration is required so that we can make sure that we are keeping families socially distant. So hit the Parks and Rec website and find out some safe, really great holiday activities that you can participate in. And now I'm going to hand the mic back to Chair Jacobs for some more comments. And so Chair Jacobs.
Thank you, Mayor Schewel. And it's really great to hear about all of the festive, fun activities that are planned for the holidays for people in our community. So Mayor Schewel has laid out really what the CDC and North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services have laid out as what are considered the safest practices that you can follow for you and your family. We know that some of you are still going to travel for the holiday. And one of the big recommendations is that for everybody to have a flu shot before you do travel, and for everybody in our community to please make sure you get a flu shot. Also, what's recommended is for everyone to download the Slow COVID NC app. This is a great free app that uses Bluetooth technology, does not use any personal information, but will let you know if you have been exposed to or had contact with anybody who has tested positive. And in order for this to be successful, we need lots and lots of people to download this app. So please go ahead and do that. As Mayor Schewel mentioned, testing is a tool that can be helpful, and getting tested 3 to 4 days before you travel. And we want you to know that in Durham, we are very fortunate that we have an abundance of free testing locations right now until the end of the month. You can go and get a free COVID test every single day of the week, Monday through Sunday, from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. at our County Health and Human Services parking lot, 414 East Main Street. You can walk up, you can drive up, no appointment necessary. You can also do this at El Centro Hispano at 2000 Chapel Hill Road, Suite 26A, Tuesday through Saturdays, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Also completely free. Walk up and drive ups are welcome. There are also other places to get free testing that are listed on the Durham County Public Health website. But as you know, Mayor Schewel indicated, testing is really just one tool, and it's important for people to know that it is not a free pass for not practicing the 3 W's, and that tests can have false negatives, and they are only a snapshot in time for you actually being negative at that moment in time. So it's really important to keep that in mind. And we know that it's important to have these conversations now with your family and for people to agree on what type of guidelines that you will follow. Following these practices will help keep you, your loved ones, and the entire Durham community safe when you do return from your travels. And I'll turn it back over to you, Mayor Schewel, for closing comments.
Thank you very much. Well, I think this idea of making a plan that Commissioner Jacobs just mentioned is so important. Make a plan for Thanksgiving to keep yourselves and your families safe. We know it works, the 3 W's, and we also know, as Chair Jacobs said earlier, that we are experiencing COVID fatigue. That, yeah, we're tired of this now. We are really tired of COVID, but we have to do the right thing and stay safe. There is a light at the end of the tunnel. The vaccine is coming. Most scientists believe that by next summer we'll be in mass distribution of the vaccine, and I'm very hopeful that we will. We have local plans underway for the distribution of the vaccine. We've had our local plan approved for that. We can all get through this together. We need to keep supporting our local businesses in safe ways through Durham Delivers, the Streetery, buying local. We can help our businesses survive in safe ways at the same time as we need to keep ourselves safe. And especially at Thanksgiving and the ensuing holidays, we really need to do that. So I'm now going to open it up for questions. And if there's any questions, I think, Amber, you can help make that happen.
Yes, thank you, Mayor Schewel and Chair Jacobs. If there are members of the media who have questions for Mayor or Chair, you may unmute yourself and turn your cameras on. We would ask that you please just identify your name and news organization before you ask your question. Thank you.
Hi there, this is Bridget Chapman with CBS 17. I was wondering, is there going to be any type of enforcement or any monitoring on Thanksgiving or any of these upcoming holidays to make sure that the gatherings are not going out of the state code?
So I'll tackle that one. Thank you for that question, Bridget. That's important. The way we get compliance in Durham, as you know, is the vast bulk of it is voluntary. we can't possibly police everyone and make sure that they are doing what needs to be done to stay safe and healthy. So we really have to, and that's really where our friends in the media like you come in, who can really amplify the message of safety so that people will voluntarily comply. Because I think what we've seen in Durham is if people know how to comply, whether it be face masks or social distancing, they generally do it. We also know there might be a few people that don't do it. That does happen. And the way we get compliance is that our city attorney's office, we have a wonderful city attorney, one of our assistant city attorneys, Anna Davis, and she works with places that might businesses say that aren't complying. She would call them, write them, and make sure that they get into compliance. So if we need to enforce something, somebody's egregiously violating and having a giant party or something, absolutely, we would do that. A police officer might go over and tell them that they need to stop doing that. We might get our city attorney's office involved, but that's not what we're expecting. We're really expecting voluntary compliance, and we hope that you all can amplify that message. But thank you for that good question. Are there any other questions? We're happy to take them. All right, last chance. Are there any other members of our media here who would like to ask a question? All right, well, thank you all very much. We're glad to have you, and I hope that you will widely spread the message of Thanksgiving and holiday safety. So thank you very much. Amber, do you want to make any final remarks?
Nope, I don't have anything else. Thank you all for joining us today.
Thank you all so much for being here. Appreciate it. Thank you.